yourself up. Oh, you are proper. Oh, I thought you were going to leave them up.
No.
Wait, if you leave
What
them up,
socks
if
are
you have
they? You
ones.
said I've got creep shoes on. What socks are they?
They're my cycling ones.
Oh,
So you're moaning about creep shoes and then you're wearing bike socks.
they're not bike socks. They're like special tights.
Yeah, that's my point. Like, I've got creep shoes on, you've got tights on.
I don't know how you're calling them creep shoes now.
Creep shoes.
Even you've committed
I
to
mean, I can't disagree.
Why are they creep shoes?
Because they're all like telly.
creepy.
Very creepy.
Creepy.
You got, but these are semi-creepy.
Oh, Jim's a full
Jim
on.
has full creep.
We've got
This is
like-
going in the edit.
We've got the full
Wait,
spectrum
is
of
it going to be
footwear.
like, you know, like with some podcasts?
We've got the full spectrum of footwear.
It's
It's
like
like
the-
boots,
it's-
toes.
It's like the Secret Revolution.
Yeah, all we need is someone with no shoes on completely.
I'll take one off. I've got no socks on, I'll take one off.
Hello.
Howdy.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Again.
Evening.
Welcome back to another episode of Between the Rolls.
Boom.
Last episode was good. I thought, and it's been a little while since we recorded the first one, isn't it? And we've had some good feedback so far, which is cool. So this time we're going to try and keep it to a certain time limit because
We waffled a lot.
editing like 2 hours worth of you guys chatting and me was a lot. It took me ages. So we're going to try and keep it to us
I mean, I don't
about 45 minutes to an hour if we can.
There's a word count this time.
There is a word count.
Only can use
Yeah.
75 words.
Yeah.
I just used 12 of them. Oh.
So, yeah, so we're going to start today. There's going to be a bit of a theme. There's going to be around our dads. So I want to kick it off by asking, what are your dads like?
Sure.
Okay.
Short. Yeah.
Happy.
Happy. Very nice. Anything else?
Only one of them sort of facial hair. Are we talking like physical characteristics?
Well,
or-
just generally, like I'm interested to know, because I know last time we kind of spoke a little bit about our dads and sort of their impact on our lives. I just kind of want to know from you, and I'll chip in as well.
Yeah.
Like, what are your dads like? How do you see them? Like, not
Well,
necessarily physically or characteristically, but
I guess my dad's like one of my good mates. That's how he sees it. I mean, I do as
How-
well.
how do you
That sounds
see it?
really,
Yeah.
really harsh.
it's awkward.
But yeah, he sees it more like, I think as the older I've got, it's more like, I don't know, is the word kinship maybe? I don't know. More like just a friendship rather than, I guess you get to an age, don't you, where you kind of start becoming a level.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I was lucky enough to be my dad's best man at his wedding. His second wedding, not his first. That was that was your boundaries. But yeah, no, that is.
It's got his Mark McFly shoes on.
Yeah, no, that is second one. I'm the same. But yeah, no, I think a friendship. I don't ever really remember that boundary kind of progressing from I'm your dad, I'm your role model, you must listen to me, and then it progressed into a friendship. I've got a terrible memory, so that doesn't bode well for anyone really. But I would say I'm very lucky, like you, and that we have a very good friendship with our dad. I see my dad, as much as I rip it into him and I wind him up left, right and centre, he is very much that person that I can call up and go, or maybe not call up, for me it's slightly different, but I would be calling up and I'll go, let's meet up, and then when we meet up, I can guarantee we'll probably be playing golf, and he'll go, how have you been? And I can then say, I've been struggling.
Have you guys ever seen that? It's a TikTok or YouTube clip where there's like, everyone needs 3 guys in their life, or like, you know,
Yeah.
that's how I see my dad, all in one person. And I guess kind of for me that's, you know, that person that will go war for me, that person that will listen to me, and that person that will
Be honest with
pull
you.
me
so,
up if
yeah.
I'm, you know, wrong. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's a good little
Yeah,
clip.
it's a
that.
good little clip.
I like it, yeah.
Yeah, I feel my dad personally, he's always come across as very honest and very caring, not just for me but for my sisters as well, and he's always willing to do a lot for other people,
Mm.
and I think that has kind of been embedded into my friendship. The fact that sometimes, probably a lot of the time, I've probably taken advantage of that goodwill,
Yeah.
but as all kids do, and we do.
Model child, mate. I'd never do that.
And I'm sure he
The life
struggled
says
a
it
lot
all,
with me,
yeah.
but I think that would probably helped. But I'd probably say, yeah, definitely with my dad, more of a friendship, kinship.
Kinship.
I
I
do
don't,
like
I
that.
don't know how to describe
I'm not even sure that's in the
Like-
dictionary
Like,
yet,
do you mean
but
like peer kind of thing.
Yeah.
yeah, more of a
Yeah.
peer.
Like we're on a level.
Talk about you, because your
Yeah.
situation's a little bit
Yeah,
different.
I find it a bit harder, and I don't to answer, but not in a worse way. Just in because I've got two dads really. I've got obviously
Greedy.
my biological dad and my stepdad, who was my stepdad from when I was a very very little, like I think like 4 years old, and I think my memory is as bad as yours, Luke, if not worse. So I just know it as just two dads in a way. So I think I've got one who lives further away, obviously one a lot closer. So I think if I say compare it to like you guys, I think you've got a bit more of a playmate with your dad's kind of where you can go do those things with. I don't think I've necessarily got that, but I've still got that person who I'll talk to if I need it, or like mainly that element of just help or advice kind of thing. And I think that's where I see mine a lot more, of someone who can kind of guide me at points, or I can have really nice conversations with and just be myself around really. I think wherever my dad visits from where he lives up north, it's just longer between seeing each other, and it's just there's nothing different there. And obviously my dad that lives a lot closer with my mum, there's no difference between them. They're completely different people, and I've got completely different relations with them, but they're the same, if that makes sense. I find it hard to describe in a way.
I'm gonna
There you go.
jump in there. You got to stop moving your hand up and down because it goes all over the camera.
Oh, I kind of,
That's alright. That's fine.
So,
That's fine.
I'm so glad you cleared
We'll
up
keep
the whole
going.
two dad thing, because for a minute, obviously I know these guys' dads.
yeah.
For a minute I was like, oh okay, cool. Rob's
It makes
dad.
so much
That
sense
makes sense now. So I'm glad you cleared that up.
Yeah, no, I'd say I find it a really difficult one to answer, and I always feel bad like in that way because it's not. It's not. I don't mean that in a worse way, but I feel some people would be like, "Oh, like why is it harder to answer?" But I think it's because
You've got two to think about.
it means two completely different
Yeah.
things, but they means it's the exact same thing. It's two different people doing the exact same role, and I see it in different ways, but they mean as much to me and are as important in multiple different ways, kind of thing.
Thank you.
Well, you guys know my dad. I think,
Love your dad.
yeah, he's. I think my relationship with my dad, I think it's slightly different to you guys. I think I do kind of see him as a mate, but to me, he's always kind of been a parental figure, and my dad has that kind of aura about him that he is kind of like that to everyone.
He always smells good as well.
He's proper papa.
But he is a proper Papa Bear, and I think
Yeah.
everyone who kind of meets my dad and knows my dad has always kind of said like he's the best guy that
He's that
You'll ever
senior
meet.
person, isn't he? Like
you just
even
feel
though he
comfortable
doesn't
with him.
act like it. He's that.
Yeah,
He walks in and it's like, oh okay.
and
Yes.
he's
Yes, Nigel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
lovely.
I think I could agree with you because, and like what you were saying, because you think on your stag do,
yeah.
like he was there sitting around making some of the all of us laugh. Like he
Yeah.
was cracking us
It's
up.
just brilliant.
Yet at the same time, we were sitting outside having a conversation about politics, and then in the morning he was making breakfast for everyone,
Yeah.
and then straight up, it was on the golf course, and he was making everyone laugh and stuff.
Yeah.
He was very good at fitting into
He's
all the
very,
roles at
very
the right
good.
time.
He's a little bit like a chameleon in that way. He's very good at understanding how to get on people's level, I think, and just playing to that and making you feel welcome and making you feel
Using
comfortable.
psychology just like his
And he is very
Respect
clever.
in a way, kind of thing,
Yeah,
because
very clever. And I think my relationship with my dad, he might say it different, but I think it's slightly changed since my mum's died. Because there's an element there for me now where it's like, you know, it's really hard to talk about, I think. There's an element of vulnerability there, and I know like we always see our parents as our superheroes and stuff, and I think since mum went, it's very much like I'm kind of looking at it in a more precious sense. That maybe the relationship's a little bit more delicate, or I'm always maybe overthinking those little moments and trying to be a bit making sure I'm catering to his needs now, rather than just letting him kind of take the stage and making everyone else feel comfortable. I kind of feel like I need to step up a little bit more and be a version of him, if that makes sense. So it's kind of changed for me a little bit. Over the last couple of years.
Difficult to process about how to step in and out with that kind of thing. I can't imagine it's.
Yeah, it is. I think not constantly, but there's moments where I kind of second guess myself, or you know, seeing a day where, you know, obviously he's changed a lot since my mum died, and you can kind of see that sometimes where he does look a little bit lost or a little bit sad, and you got to pick him up. I feel, or you know, he don't like being vulnerable. He doesn't like talking, and he's had a lot of therapy himself over the last 18 months or so as well. So it's definitely changed. It's definitely changed.
You saying that, I made some notes before this anyway, because I thought, oh, we're going to talk about certain things. And weirdly enough, that's one of the things that I wrote down on my list, was like, I don't know whether it's an age or a circumstance change.
Yeah.
The role flips. Like, even though you're still a son, you start becoming not the more responsible one, because, well, I mean, our dads are a bit varied, but...
Cool, if you're responsible for someone, we're all screwed.
Oh, but it kind of it's flipped, I would say. Like, I mean,
there's a shift in perspective.
Yeah,
I think
kind
is
of,
how I word it. I think,
yeah,
maybe. Yeah.
Well, I
that's
think
very
an element
true.
of like who's watching out for who. Obviously, as parents, you're watching out for your kids all the time.
Yeah.
And then as you're kind of growing up, you're very much watching out for yourself, what you need to do. And then probably at our stage of our lives, it's we're kind of like watching out for our kids, but now we're looking out for our parents as well, of being like, what are they up to, what do they need, or how am I in their life, kind of thing.
Yeah, I liken it to say, like, us with the golf, for example. Like, my dad won't, if I'm playing with him, I won't make him pay, or I won't let him drive. That's kind of me stepping up now as like, not the man or the father figure, but like, you know, like, have a day off, Dad. You've done it for like 39 years.
The amount of times I've said that to my dad, we've gone
Have
out.
a day off.
Yeah, have a day off, mate. Don't turn up. No, the amount of times like we would go out, and especially when he was first starting to like just play, and I'd pay.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay for me, and I'm like, yeah, no, I don't have to pay for you. But you also didn't have to pick me up at 2 o'clock in the morning because I was half pissed.
I mean,
At a
we did.
park,
We saw
or-
what state you were in.
You don't have to do
I was
that.
there.
You don't have to. You didn't have to give me the money to go into London just for a jolly and stuff like that. But you did, and it's, as you said, it's almost turning around now, and it's going. I think that appreciation of what your dads
your dad
or
did for you,
parents have done.
So, kind of moving on to my next question is, what's the one thing that your dad has taught you, intentionally or not?
Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Yeah.
No, it's lefty tighty.
Let's not talk about your dad. Right, mate. The geezer's ambidextrous. It's annoying.
That is the best knowledge anyone can ever give you. Right, so lefty loosey.
All right, next.
Game over.
Someone else chip in.
Um,
It's hard to beat.
Well, I don't know. I think you can look at it in different ways because I think, like, literally, what skills have they taught you in a way, or
You got two dads, so you got double knowledge.
double skills?
Double.
Really?
I think
trouble.
it, like,
Yeah, if you don't have a good one here,
Yeah,
mate.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, no. So
No
like,
pressure.
I was talking to Luke a little bit about TV shows watching during the week, and on that TV show there was a dad who was really kind of beating himself up like how he hadn't done a good enough job, and so I kind of look at that question of not what my dad taught me, but what's my dad like, and then what am I then trying to do? Not because they did a bad job, but what do I try and then do better for my kids or better for myself, kind of thing. So like I know my dad that lives at Northie, I know he never really wanted to move far away, but for certain situations he did, and I totally understand why he did. Not anything wrong with it, but it's then maybe think about my children, how I want that little bit of closeness, maybe kind of thing. I think my other dad in a way as well, he kind of not aggressive, but maybe sometimes that element of, I think, manly short-temperedness. So then me then as an adult, especially to my wife Sarah, or more important in a way to Frankie and Ella, if I've got that manly rageness kind of thing, I'm at the point of being like, right, actually, how do I change that rather than just stick with that stereotype in a way. So I think mine is seeing who they are, and I suppose flaws in a way, but not terrible flaws, but then just of how has it made me slightly become who I am, kind of thing. That I'm reflective maybe on what they've done on certain things, and maybe when I've done the same thing, I've reflected it just on not what I did, but what I've seen those role models, how they behave with it as well, maybe.
And I don't want to go off topic, so I'll keep the question very small.
Is it like you
Is it
showed this was small? I didn't know small meant.
I haven't been
thanks.
around humans this week. Is it conflicting? Having like two perspectives.
They're entirely different people, like
Yeah.
crazy different people. I think they just it's not contradicting. It's just
Different.
like us in here. We all get along incredibly well, but we're all four entirely different people. So it's not kind of like there's not like a better or a worse kind of thing. There's just
I think
it's just two different people, really.
My thing was sort of, does it get confusing having two lots of advice, or would you go to one dad?
No, I wouldn't go to one. No.
Okay.
But I think there's well, maybe say like I'd go to say like my stepdad in a way if I was having car problems.
Yeah.
Kind of around the corner kind of thing. But I know I could go to my dad as well and ask for he'd give me advice and that kind of thing. Like when he's come down and visited, it's kind of like, oh, this thing, and he's just like, oh, well, let's have a look kind of thing. So it's
they've each got their different strengths.
Yeah.
They can kind of go to.
And it's just it's not contradicting, and they can both help me with the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just for a time in the moment of which one do I go to kind of thing. It's
Jealous of two dads, man. I'm jealous of his two dads.
But I suppose it must be different that one lives a lot further away as well. So
it is in a way, but then I'd probably say then I have more phone calls with that one kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I'm going to see them less.
Is that conscious?
Yeah, because obviously my dad, growing up, we were quite terrible at communicating to each other.
Yeah.
And I think we make a massive conscious effort now to both do better, and we do so much better now. And it means then where there maybe would have been a couple of years where we didn't really talk, just out of sheer life busyness. Now we will talk, and he will stay around my house when he comes down, that kind of thing, and it's what it should be, kind of thing. I think it's just. I think about obviously being a teacher, go back to being a teacher, but I look at some people who don't have a dad, and I do very much consider myself about how fortunate I am that I have two. And I've got two who I love immensely, and I couldn't live without one of them. Like, I need them both. Like lottery in a way, kind of thing. They're not perfect. They're not terrible.
Equally, you don't know any different either.
No, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. yeah, I do feel fortunate in a way having two. Yeah.
Greedy.
Richard.
Richard. Do you know what? Because I hear the conversations generally are like, you know, what have you learned from your dad? Learn how to be a good dad. I didn't learn that.
Did you have
Just come
dogs?
naturally.
Did you have dogs as you grew up?
No, we never had dogs. So like my two were the first two. He taught me how to be a good husband. Whether he knew that or not, and rightly or wrongly, he always put mum first. Mum come above, like she was there before us, she's going to be there after us. You know, as a non-parent, I completely get on board with that because it's my wife, she comes first. So I think he taught me how to be a good husband because I am great.
Wait. There's a bit of silence.
Yeah, just
I know, it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. But no, I think, you know,
Yeah.
short answer, there you go. He taught me, or I learned from him. I don't think he consciously went, right now, and what you want to do is when you get home, he never did none of that.
No.
It was just observing how he put mum first.
A role model.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
yeah, nice. I like that answer. Very nice.
Yeah.
Do you like mine then?
Well, no, I like yours as well.
Yours was just-
I'm
Yours
joking,
is-
I'm
yeah,
joking.
It's really long.
It was just,
But just to say, I like both my dads.
but I do genuinely think it's an interesting perspective because you obviously don't have kids.
No.
So I guess it's looking at his role in a different way, I guess.
Yeah.
Than,
But I think he's always been quite clear about his priorities
Okay.
as a man, as a
Mm.
dad, as a husband. So it's quite easy to watch.
When you say it's nothing that he actually said, I think that's where, again, when my mum and my dad split up, there was a lot of times where me and my dad spent a lot of time just us two. Calves, rides, do you know what I mean? He used to ferry me around to whatever hobby I was doing at the time. And I always remember him saying, and it's always true, it's easier to be a good person.
Mm.
And I then look at the way he is, and he will always, if he can help, he genuinely will. And he will always get walked upon. The amount of people that have taken advantage.
Seizure.
Seizure.
He's very generous, your dad. He's very giving.
Yes.
Even if he's
Yeah.
only just met you as well. Like I remember the first
Yeah.
time I met him, and it was just that embracing.
It is, and he's a nice, honest, genuine person.
He's a gentleman.
And a gentleman, yeah,
A
very
gentleman,
much so.
yeah,
And
yeah.
as much as we all laugh in the group, and I can be grumpy and I can be far from that sometimes, whatever,
Never seen it.
at the same time, I will always say, I will always try to be honest and nice.
Yeah.
If I don't like you, I probably won't talk to you.
Yeah.
So after you've been deleted out of my phone.
Luke has left the group.
No, but I won't talk to you, I won't make the effort, but generally that is always something, and it will be something that I will try to push down towards Stephen and the rest of the kids. You know what I mean? It's much easier to be nice than it is, and it sounds so sad, but I remember him telling it to me. I remember sitting in his car, I must have said something, or when I was younger and I was getting bullied or something, but I always remember him saying it's much easier to be nice than it isn't.
Good life lesson.
Good life
So
lesson.
right tighty, lefty loosey, and be a good person.
Yeah.
Be nice.
Be nice.
Less words. Just saying.
We've got two to talk about. It takes a double amount of time.
Yeah.
I should factor that in.
I guess I'd follow that, Luke. To be fair, like
Can't think of your own ones. Good.
no, I know. Right?
You've got one that's got two.
It's
This
good,
is
yeah.
greedy. This
Yeah.
one's stealing. Are we the only righteous ones here?
We're the only ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly what he said.
Yeah.
What I learned? I've learned a lot from my dad over the years. He's always, I think I mentioned it last time, he's always come up with little sayings and stuff that have kind of stuck with me.
He must have taught you how to cook. because
Mum's a good cook as well.
Yeah,
Mum's a very good cook. Mum, she was able my dad was a chef in the Merchant Navy, so he could cook on quantity. And my mum just had a little bit more finesse. Nothing against your dad, sorry. But let's not go there. What did he? Yeah, like I think. Yeah, as I said, like Dad had a lot of good things he used to kind of say to me that have stuck with me. But I think just watching him be around people, like we was kind of saying earlier, being able to make people feel comfortable and to have a perspective or an insight into someone else's life and ask questions. Like my dad, is a bit of a joke in our family that my dad always bumps into someone he knows when he's out and about, all the time. And there's been times where he's been talking to someone for about 20 minutes and he's come away and he goes, I can't remember who that is.
I had hair back then.
But he was just like, and we just like, how can you not remember? It's like, you've been talking to him for 20 minutes. Yeah. It's like, yeah, but I've just been asking similar questions to what he's been asking me, kind of thing. But what's great about that is that other person would have walked away and wouldn't have known that. But he's been.
They walked away going, but I recognise the face.
The stranger was talking to me.
Yeah. But the fact that he's been able to make that person feel so comfortable naturally, like my dad, like often he would remember halfway through who the person was halfway through the conversation. But there have been moments where he has come away and gone, I have no idea. But just that ability to be personable, and I guess it's kind of half the reason why I do the job I do is because of that natural curiosity and being interested in people and being able to engage with people.
Do you think it's some of that generation though?
Yeah,
probably.
Because back in that generation, I know we were quite lucky when we were growing up, but you didn't have fence panels as such, so you spoke to your neighbours. Everyone went to school together. No one was switched onto their phones and stuff. I sit on the trains now and I just think, I get on the train with these probably the same 30, 40 people in my carriage and I've not looked at them once. Because I'm watching something on YouTube or and then my fence panels and stuff. Yes, we're quite lucky, ironically, with one of our neighbours. We've only got half a fence panel, but if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't talk to them. But obviously we were quite lucky when we were growing up, we didn't, and we just ran in and out of each other's gardens. I think there was like 3 of us, wasn't there? Yeah. But would we have stayed friends if that wasn't there? Do you see what I'm saying? Is it a generational thing?
I think there's different ways to look at that, because I think it's definitely generational, but I do say look at the 3 of you, and I think, Rich, I don't know you and your dad too much, but even a little bit I've seen them, but I can think about what each of you have learnt from your dad and who you are now, kind of thing. Like you say, your dad is he's like really engaged with others and really listening to others. That's exactly who you are. You're like your dad likes to like involve people and like even when he used to like do music lessons and that, I can see who he is as a teacher. Who is like he'll go up to someone and be like, "Hi, you look like you need something. Who are you?" That's who you are.
Shame about the good person thing though. You haven't learned that one yet.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. We're working on it.
I learned being short from my dad.
Yeah, exactly that. But like even the times I've seen like your dad on a golf course kind of thing, that is who I see you as. The personality. So I think what have we learned was literally who we are as a person kind of thing. Like you were very similar to what your mum is as well kind of thing. I think you are less like what your mum is, but still there are things that you get from your mum. I haven't met your mum.
That's okay. She's like my wife. She doesn't exist.
I think
it's only males in our family.
who our dads are.
That's true, baby.
Cool. 2 of us.
Who our dads are have really shaped who we are as people. And then, obviously we are all men, so...
You're right, I see that, because I see Nigel as studious. I see Kim as... Actually, I don't think Luke's is. And
but I think so many ways that, like, the way it's like if a stranger come along,
Mm.
the way Luke would engage with him, I think, is exactly how Kim would engage with him,
Yeah.
kind of thing. The way that
We had we got a hitchhiker.
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, I remember.
To be fair,
Yeah.
out of the group, you're the one I think would pick up a hitchhiker.
Everyone was.
Yeah,
We passed and went. It was raining.
We had lunch
Oh,
at Blue
come
Water,
on.
and he was like, "Can I see your table with Colin, mate?" And then we're driving along later on. We're like, "Should we pick him up?" He's like, "Come on, mate, in you come."
Drove all the way down to Ashford, didn't we?
Just down the M20, yeah.
If that's not a good person, I don't know what is.
Better than me.
But yeah.
He was only like 17 or 18, wasn't he?
Yeah, he
Wasn't
wasn't very old. He was trying to go back to Poland or something like
Yeah.
that. Trying to hitchhike all the way to Poland or something like that.
You weren't going to take that far there.
No, mate, they have a passport on me. Otherwise, all the way
All the way there.
What's your next question?
Well, you kind of led on to the next question, actually. It was around how you think your dads have influenced your life and how you are as a man. You kind of alluded to that a little bit, but
I guess, I mean, it's no surprise to you three that I can have a hot head, and I will try and do, or I will defend those people that mean the most to me. And I think kind of that comes from when we were really younger. I'll say just a traumatic experience with mum and dad and what they went through, and then sort of seeing their resilience to that in a physical violence way, should we say.
okay.
So I think that's probably why I get so defensive with my mates. Do you know what I mean? Like, I will go to war and it wouldn't bother me, and I think kind of a not so great trait a little bit. I wish I hadn't learnt that lesson.
Okay.
But it's a lesson I learned, and it's, you know, look, I'll go to war for either of you,
Is that
not you.
like a protective?
Where you going
Yeah, I think kind of because, you know, my dad taught me to be that protector, whether it's right or wrong. I like that lesson. I think kind of that taught me a lot, really.
Is there a point where that? Oh, you kind of mentioned it anyway, but where that goes too far, like where
and
is
I
the
think
line?
kind of it's hard to, and I think I get that from my dad as well. Is sometimes there isn't that stop button, because I think it's all well and good learning the good things, but also you kind of look at the shit things. Excuse my French. Merde. For those that are French. You have to learn those bad things as well, and I think it makes you more of a rounded figure.
Evidence sweet.
But yeah, thanks. But I think that was an important lesson.
Yeah.
I think kind of the good and the bad. I think you take on the traits and you learn the things. But yeah, it helped me to be a bit more protective of those that I love.
Yeah, I think it kind of goes back to what you were saying last time about how like protective you are over Emma and being that husband. Is you take that very seriously.
Yeah.
She's real.
She is real, mate, yeah. But most of all, I think he taught me how to have fun and have a joke. I think if we watch this back and we listen to it back, there's glimpses of like serious from me, and then it's like, look. I think, like, you're right, like when you were saying about what you see us and our dads, you probably just see dad on the golf course having fun.
Yeah.
I've seen your dad have a little bit of a temper as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, on the golf course,
So,
he's
you know,
got a very good sort of sense of justice.
Him, like, genuinely in a serious conversation with someone,
yeah.
where he's intent on listening to them.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you are as well.
No, Matt got that.
We've got the hair.
Yeah, you got the hair. They do have good hair, the pair of them. I don't know where this come from.
No.
Sorry, I forgot the question.
That's right. It's about how your dad's influenced the kind of man you are. I think you've summed it up nice. Lucas?
The mic's now on me.
No, my brain.
Yeah. I thought he was just going
That's
to
just
say the mic's on me.
It's not that kind of show.
That's for the thing.
That's another video, isn't it?
Keep it PG.
Yeah, that needs to be your logo. The mic's on me.
Damn, that was a good one. Actually,
yeah,
I got the
that
name of the
was
podcast.
good.
Damn it.
I think as kind of Rob pointed out, and we've all alluded, the behaviour that my dad has presented to other people has, I've always tried to kind of lean towards that. I've, as I said, seen the effects of it where people walk over him, my dad's a bass player, a very good musician, and they're, oh, you couldn't do me a favour. But then suddenly when there's a gig that's going to be a very highly paid gig or is going to lead into gigs throughout the year, they won't then let him play, or they won't really think of him. But when they need help and cover, they'll go to him. And my dad's the idiot that goes, yeah, well then I'll do it. Because he doesn't want someone else to fall short. So I think you were saying the good and the bad. I've learned from my dad's bad side with not being walked over, which is maybe some of my stubbornness, maybe some of my kind of, what might come across as being quite rude, when actually in the back of my head it's kind of, the way I see it is, I'm not going to be walked over like someone else. If this is my friend and they're asking it for me, why are they asking it for me or from me? But equally at the same time, I always feel I do. And I'll ask the question on how are you doing? Let's say it's a text message, which we live in a world of everyone only texts nowadays. I text and someone will go, how are you doing? Yeah, I'm good, how are you? And 9 times out of 10, I will ignore that, how are you? And I will go straight back to them and go, what have you been up to? Do you know what I mean? I try and get a little bit more because I see how it's affected my dad's relationships, and in the sense of he's one of them people that you were saying, he walked down the street and he knows everyone. Because everyone either wants to be around him or again he's very personable. So when you were saying that, straight away in my head I'm thinking, I think we were down in Exeter once and we were walking around and he saw someone. He went down there when I wasn't there. I think he went to Woolacombe where my grandparents used to live, and they were just going around the road and he was just showing his wife Mo, oh yeah, this is where my nan and granddad used to live. As he went round, I think they hit a car or something, and it was his best man at his wedding that he'd not seen in like 40 odd years or something ridiculous. And it was like,
I was like, you're not allowed to drive. Different wedding.
It was something silly like that.
That's mad.
And the 40 years didn't give it away.
no, not really.
No.
But,
We're not adding on this thing. Is that right?
yeah, it was something crazy like that. So I think that's how it's kind of moulded me. So I think, as you said, we've kind of already answered our question as we've kind of been going anyway. But I think I've learned a lot from my dad's, not mistakes, but
Lessons.
yeah, just lessons, I guess, yeah. Roberto?
And I find it a bit hard to answer in a way. I think the kind of the usualness, kind of like what you said, like maybe some of the stubbornness and that kind of thing. But that's like, I don't know really. I think maybe someone looking at me and looking at my two dads might be able to be like, yeah, he's like that one in that sense and that in that sense. I'm not really sure. I think they've moulded me maybe just as much as my mum has as well, kind of thing. It's hard to pinpoint that bit is from him, and that bit's from him, and that bit's from her, kind of thing. So I don't know really, in all honesty. I've been trying to think whilst we've been talking.
I
Nice to know
can see your hot-headedness
Yeah,
from one of your dads.
yeah.
And
But I can
not
also
naming
see
names.
my blaseness from the other one.
exactly, I was just
Yeah.
about to say, but I can also see how you really relax. It's all very chilled from one of your dads, and then you let it build up, and then boom.
But they
it
also
goes.
both do the same. So then it's like, what's from who, in a way? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's...
I can also see your caring side from one of your dads. I don't obviously want to say because it's up
But again,
is it, do you know what I mean? That is up to...
Again, but that I can see it from both. where I think they care in different ways, and I think I do both of those ways, and you're probably going to see one because again, you might have seen more one of the other, but it's hard to pinpoint a position of this is that. I do agree with you. I do think one can be a bit more hot-headed, one can be a bit more, what has happened and I didn't really think about it, and I think I've improved on both of those things. I can be more reflective on, I should have done that better, or I should have been that less, kind of thing.
So using the caring aspect that you mentioned, are you thinking you can see the caring side of your dad in this situation, and you can also see the caring side of your stepdad when it comes to that situation. So I think so you can almost mould them and be the ultimate dad.
I mean, I didn't see me. I'm like the He-Man of dads.
It's like a Power Ranger. It's morphin'! Oh good, the reference wasn't. Glad to know I'm not that old.
But yeah,
I love
I
Power
can't
Rangers,
say
so good.
I've got that from that dad, because I think it's 3/4 come from one, quarter from the other, then the next time it's 3/4 the other way, so yeah, I don't know, in honesty. It might be a way of my wife or my mum or you guys, like you kind of saying like, well, I can see that from them, because I don't know which bit's from which bit, in a way, kind of thing.
Yeah, no one ever says you're just like your dad. They always say like, oh, she's just like her mum. But no one ever says you're just like your dad. I've never heard that
But
phrase.
then,
All the
I don't
time.
know.
I always
Do you get told-
get told that
do you guys hear
loads. Yeah.
See, I don't.
I think you said
I
it to
never
me.
hear.
I
Yeah,
don't.
oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't. But then that might be because people, there's a more of a comparison in a way. Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially
maybe.
by my aunties and even my sister sometimes will just go, oh my god, that's something that Dad would say, or that's what something Dad would do, and I'm like, what? Be epic.
Even the way you said that sucked.
As I said, my dad. I'll tell you what, I love how supportive we are of each other.
Oh yeah, I couldn't say that at all. That was
To be fair, you were my inner animal there.
I'm no impulse control then.
What about you, Mike?
I
Bring it back,
can't remember my own question. How has it influenced the kind of man I am? I think I get told like I said, I get told I'm a lot like my dad, which I don't think is a bad thing at all. I think he has had a massive influence on me of being quite, I can't already say it really, like quite a grounded person.
You've got the same persona in a way. Kind of. Like you said, aura.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the same.
Aura, yeah, I think aura is a good call. Yeah, again, I think it's just that being patient and having time for people kind of thing, like giving people the time of day. Everyone's got their own stories and stuff, and Dad's kind of always said that, sort of growing up, really. Yeah, I think there's, I guess my opinion, but there's not a better man to model yourself on than my dad, really. Obviously I'm going to say that he's my dad, but...
Well, yeah, but you say that, but there are some people out there with some terrible dads, so I think sometimes you've got to take that with a bit of a... I do have a good one.
Oh,
yeah, I'm incredibly lucky.
Yeah, I think I can see
Incredibly
it.
lucky.
I'll say I'm blessed.
Yeah.
There are some dads that are just terrible.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's not a nice thing to say, but there are out there.
And I think it's quite unique. I think it was pointed out by someone who listened to the last podcast, actually, how all of our dads are pretty solid and pretty good. And I think that is a testament to them. That we are very, very lucky. I think the four of us to have the relationships with our dad that
and
we
then
do.
become the people we are in a way.
Yeah.
As well.
I think they've always been ever present. We're all lucky in
Yeah.
that aspect that
Yeah.
no
And
matter
I think
what,
that's the word, present.
ever present.
Ever present.
If we're
Yeah.
going to use
Ever
epic
present.
words,
Yeah.
What do you think ever is an
Ever
epic
present.
word?
it solidifies their presence.
I know what I'm getting into.
No one's getting past
Thesaurus.
No one's getting past key stage 1.
Not a dictionary, a thesaurus.
A thesaurus. Oh, will it have? Oh, that's something different.
And that thing, that
That's
video,
it, just-
be the next,
That'd be
next
the-
thing you put on Facebook.
That'd be the
next
thumbnail on
episode.
YouTube.
That's what the thesaurus does, right?
Can you think what Rich was talking about?
Yeah. On tonight's show,
We're talking about dads.
no, they've all been ever present.
Sorry, really hijacked your answer there, but
That's all right. That's fine.
To be fair, your dad's just brilliant.
He is, yeah, he's pretty good. So that brings me on to the last question, the penultimate question. I'm going to ask you one more after this.
That's a big word.
I'm lost now.
Penultimate. What patterns, or like you kind of mentioned it earlier, but what patterns are you trying to break that your dads have shown you?
I was.
Having children.
Yeah, we'll see why, mate.
Yeah, for I don't want any.
Fair enough.
I think mine can probably go straight to kind of what Luke said about maybe the hot-headedness or the kind of the accidental kind of like distancing or not doing maybe perceived enough maybe. That's where I'm kind of like, I've had so many conversations with Sarah where trying to communicate when I'm in that hot-headed stage of what's going on and finding it so difficult, where I've had people in the past where I'm like, I don't even want to tell you anything when I'm in that real red zone kind of thing. But with Sarah, I make that constant energy to be like, I'm going to change myself there to communicate better with my partner, not just be known as hot-headed. Like my dad isn't known as hot-headed, but to not just be that personality trait. And I think even the other one where like not getting lost in my ways, say like communicating with my dad, I'll admit that me and him haven't communicated enough. It's not just his failing, it's my failing too. Then I will try to make that more effort in a way kind of thing. I can't think I'm quite hermity, I will happily kind of hide away. And I think both of my dads probably have that as well. And then I try to break that maybe cycle too. We try to be a bit more adventurous, perhaps. I could be a lot more adventurous certainly, but that's probably something. So probably hot-headedness, maybe stubbornness and hermity, kind of hiding away. They're probably what I try to break.
I think you're a serious
That's
answer.
perfect. So
Was it short enough?
If we could just cut it down slightly, if you could pause less.
Close to 12,000 words.
So I learned some things and changed them.
Nice.
Yeah.
I would do the same. No, I would
Ditto.
stop the righty lefty. No.
That's old fashioned. It's not PC anymore.
Lefty tighty.
What was I literally had something in my head that I was going to say, and that's always a bad idea.
Yep.
Well, that's a short enough answer.
Next.
No, that was it. Talking about your emotions.
Yeah.
Oh,
My dad,
Yeah.
when I was younger in particular, was very much, well, I don't ever think he did anyway. Well, if he did, as I said, I can't remember. But didn't really speak about his emotions much, didn't really talk about my emotions, and we'd never really had that conversation. Up until probably in my mid-20s really, we had a proper conversation, and that was kind of the flip of, he was my dad that was a very good friend to now he's my dad, he's a friend that is also my dad type thing.
Again.
Yeah, and it maybe a little bit younger than like mid-20s, but it was kind of the band stage as I was kind of coming out of being in the bands and stuff, because yes, I was in a band.
Was that a look to camera?
Yeah.
And the views just went down.
Views have just been
He winked and
We will make a poll to vote Luke off.
I mean, come on, winking and gunning.
Yeah.
That was one of those other epic moments.
Get your thesaurus out.
Oh, anyway,
But yeah, it's one thing that I do try and, even now, try and have them conversations with Stephen.
Yeah.
Just to try and, if he wants to talk to me about it, he feels happy to. And not just kind of always go to mum, or more importantly just cut off. It said it might be that he decides to not, but at least there's that door.
Trying to model that for him.
Yeah, that's what I do. Just to add on that, I do want.
Oh, he's good at stealing, isn't he?
No.
I do want to try and break that persona of like it has to be going to mum as for like my kids in a way kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
I don't just go to my mum. Bossy. I think I learned that more as an adult. But yeah, that's something I think we all kind of jump on in a way, expressing ourselves.
Richard?
So my dad's a bit of a loner, and I've noticed that as growing up, like he only ever had time for the kids, and he only ever had time for his wife, and he only ever had time to work. Not in that order, you know, but that was the three things. And friendships was a pattern of behaviour that he didn't have. He didn't have male friends, female friends. He had colleagues. And whenever I explain this to people, they're like, yeah, but everyone loves your dad. Like, they always want to be on his team at golf, and they want to, you know. I'm like, yeah, but what you don't realise, he was a loser. Like, he had no friends growing up, and that's really hard to say. And I think deep down we've had that discussion with him before, and he's kind of gone, yeah, no, it's true. Like, and I've made a concerted effort to break that pattern of, like, go steal Rob's, but being a hermit and kind of going, actually, no, I can't do what my dad did.
Yeah.
Because...
So one day you're going to try and get friends?
Yeah, one day. I'm working on it. Give me a break, I'm only 40. He's 70. He's only just getting friends. But I think, no, yeah, I mean, it's funny. Dad, you're a loser. But when my wife, or if my wife was to go, I don't want my whole world to collapse in on itself, and I think that's a pattern that could easily be followed, and it's one that I make a concerted effort with you two, that I want to be friends with.
We're proud you arrived tonight. We're glad you came.
Thanks, mate. I'm not.
I think we mentioned it last week.
Sorry I
Though.
brought him.
We mentioned it last week that it's in this group that we're all very comfortable and we're all very much happy to chat. If me and Malone were to play cards in the other room, it wouldn't feel awkward between you two as being just a duo. Likewise, if it's any, do you know what I mean? And it just gives having that friendship as well outside of family gives a whole new characteristic.
And again, like, this is something I'm well uncomfortable with, or have been well uncomfortable with, and I think that's probably from not seeing my dad. You know, my dad wasn't one of these who goes to the pub with his mates. You know, his focus was, I need to earn money because I've got kids at home, and I need to look after my kids because that's what good dad does, and then I need to be there.
Priority, isn't it?
It's weird that I think all of our dads are like that. Would you not say?
Yeah. I mean, my mum ran a pub for a while, but I wouldn't even say growing up he was a person that's just, I'm going to go to the pub kind of thing. Not at all.
So I kind of, that's the pattern I think I'm succeeding in breaking.
I mean, again, you're here.
I turned up. So, yeah. Is that what friendship is? To turn up? Oh, God.
We're on the way.
Put your hand back. What about you, Glenn? What's the pattern?
It's a good question.
You do know you wrote the question.
Oh yeah.
I was going to say, he had more of a clue up than anyone.
I've not thought about it. No, I think
You wrote what?
the pattern I want to break with my dad, and I think it's been more apparent the last couple of years, is my dad's, as we talked about, is always does everything for other people. Very rarely he will take time for himself, and he's not really a very openly vulnerable person. That's slightly changed a little bit the last couple of years, obviously, and I think that's the pattern I kind of want to break, because he is very selfless, he's very generous, and he will put other people before himself, and I don't want to be that. I know I am like that, I can be like that, but I know I need to know how important it is for me to take time for me as well, to actually say no sometimes, and that's a lesson I'm still trying to learn.
Such a good lesson.
I think I'm getting better at it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you turn me down all the time. So.
I think sharing
Yeah.
as well. Like I think like you just said, your dad doesn't share too well. I think we've kind of, like I said in the past, you're someone that always would have listened to other people way before you would
Yeah.
share what you thought. But you are getting better now at opening up and being like, right, okay, yeah, this is what's going on with me at the moment.
Yeah,
So
it's
you're
knowing.
becoming a selfish, opinionated young man.
It's knowing that I'm important as
there
well.
ain't no young in there.
Yeah.
Younger than me. You are important, mate.
I am
think
important.
It's a nice, it's a good lesson. I think all of us are learning a good lesson, whether we know it or not.
Yeah.
As a parent, it's hard to do as well.
So
Yeah.
there we go. Teacher and a dad.
Yeah.
Great.
I know.
Yeah.
Put some respect on it.
But yeah. So we're coming to, look at that timing's perfect. Last question.
So good, lads.
It's
Like
like
this one can take an
this
hour.
one.
Yeah. Listen.
Oh.
Right. So last question then. I'm going to try and ask it every time. What is one thing that you've learnt about yourself from this conversation, if anything? Not necessarily about yourself, but one thing
I
you've
think
learnt.
that I feel a little bit more knowing in that I don't necessarily know what to say. In that how the two role models in a way contradict or add on to each other. It's so I don't know how to explain it, and I think that's just probably something that I don't necessarily recognise very much. I don't know how to put it necessarily into words. I try. I don't know if what I said is what I
Draw
meant.
pictures.
Put
if
it into
you
a
want.
picture.
I'm going to do charades. Is that right? But yeah, I think that's what in mine is like. It's a topic I find difficult to talk about, not because there were bad experiences, but just because it's a
difficult to
lot of
verbalise.
information coming in from different places, and then it's like, well, what is it kind of
Yeah.
thing?
That I'm being more emotionally available for Stephen. I think until I said it, didn't really think about it, but I know that I am actively doing that. And then it's not until I think about it and think, well, my dad wasn't like that. But yeah, I'd probably say that.
It's a better answer than mine.
Nice quick answer for you.
Yeah.
It's a better one. Can I copy that?
Can you change the voice?
Switch it around.
That's yours on mine. And mine.
That's too much
Control C,
editing.
Control V,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I'll just quickly say Frankie and Ella, and you can edit out over Stephen. Frankie and Ella.
Little IT joke for you there, Luke. Hang on.
Can we turn that camera off? Can we just have the back of their heads?
One thing that you've learnt about yourself or learnt in this conversation.
Well, I've learned that Rob has two dads. I didn't. I wasn't aware. And
That
not
aren't
like
together.
that. Yeah,
That
yeah,
aren't
yeah.
together.
I should have asked that question before this. I've learned how similar my friends' dads are and their upbringings, because you don't realise that, unless you've had that conversation. So for me, it's nice to know that there are other dads out there. So my dad isn't like a freak. Do you know what I mean? I've never thought of him as a freak, but it's okay to have negative and positive thoughts about your dad. It's all part of the makeup. I think that's a big learning lesson. Is you can, necessarily not negative, but you can have.
We love them for both reasons.
Yeah, you can have both sides, and it still be okay.
Yeah.
I guess. I did a Rob then, didn't I? I can't really put it into words.
I did think of something else to say, but I'm just not going to say it.
Well, you can, please.
No, I think one of mine actually is the love side of it. I think, kind of what we said, both of my dads do love quite hard. There's massive hugs.
Is this
and
like a
everything.
completely different conversation that we're having?
No. They're very loving people, and I think they're both huggers, and I'm probably one of the biggest huggers I know. To the point where people are like, "Don't hug me," and I'm like, "You haven't got a choice." Like I think being able to embrace the most important people to me, rather than maybe as a man just being like, "I love you, but love you over there." It's like you come in. That's something I've massively learned.
Okay, I'm going to quickly change my answer because I genuinely didn't think, like, I always give my dad a hug and a kiss.
Yeah.
You know,
same,
I'm not
yeah.
lipsing him, but I always give my dad a kiss, right? Because that's just how I was brought up.
Yeah.
He knows. But it's quite nice to hear, and I've seen you, how close you and your dad are.
Yeah.
I've seen you.
I've got
How
Let's
close
go.
you and your dad are. And,
picture of John going.
imagine him chasing up the stairs like that. It's horrible.
Just before bath time.
And there was two of us. I kicked back down the stairs and be like,
Everyone for themselves.
yeah. No, it's nice to know that like other blokes are that like
Yeah.
emotionally there with
Yeah.
yeah.
My dads don't necessarily say tons of emotions very well, but they certainly say love
Yeah.
so easily, and I'm the
yeah.
same. Yeah.
Mm.
You blown?
Yeah, me. What about that?
Did you think about
Yeah.
it this time?
Any
Yeah,
stories
no.
from your childhood?
Not about being no.
I've still got it in my head.
Sorry, guys.
I think
Totally, I loved it.
I don't know if I've necessarily learned anything. Maybe it's more of a reminder of the lessons that I'm taking from my dad and how much that's kind of
So what you're
Our
saying is we
relationship
all have
has
to
changed.
answer the question and you get away with it.
yeah. Well, this is I'm the host.
It's his show.
He's
It's
the
my
host.
I can edit it like later on, it's fine. But,
Some like wonderful
Yeah.
speech.
like,
And then we just all go,
Oh.
it's like Jerry Springer's like final thoughts.
Yeah.
That's how I'm going to do it. I don't know. I think maybe I probably said some things I've not really said out loud in terms of what I've learned from my dad and what I'm going to try and change. I don't think I've necessarily thought that through as much as I have tonight. So that's one thing I'm going to take away with me.
yeah.
But
Keep
yeah,
it. Run with it.
yeah.
I suppose it's something just who we are rather than normally what we'd
Mm.
express. So,
Yeah.
Been a good
Cool.
conversation.
So on that,
Yeah.
thank you very much,
Thank you. Shout out
and
to the dads.
shout out to the dads.
All
Big love.
5 of them.
Big love.
Big love, big love.
5.
Five dads.
I had to think about that. My maths was terrible.
And
Not that many things.
yeah, we'll chat again soon.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Peace. Bye guys.
Bye.